really over the years, it's been community building. That's the thing that I found out that whether it's in the store level or at a convention level, it's like store has been in business since 97. Been a few years. It was 24 to going on 25 years right now. So we started in town at a location, more central part of town, in a very small store that's probably half of the size of our retail side. And then we moved it from there to a location over on one of the main thoroughfares in town. And that was there for a number of years. We had 2 locations of that shopping center there. Then we moved over to where we're at now, but we were on the other side of the building, remodeled the building. Then we moved over here where we've been for like 8-ish years, 9 years maybe. Time flies. I can't remember. I've been with the company since over 20 years. I've been here since, I believe, 2001. A lot of trial and error, but I know that it was sort of a mishmash when we were at some of our older stores. And then when we moved to this building at our old store, we actually had a bigger retail area. Everything was sort of like moved around and had its own little section, but it was very spread out and still not quite what we wanted. And it wasn't where we could easily watch all the product. And so when we moved to this side and were able to design it exactly how we wanted to, we sort of put some more thought into how we wanted it. We're still working on it to this day. We're getting ready to make some changes, adding some new shelving and stuff to actually be able to fit more stuff in here. But the idea is you want to have room for all your product, but yet still have it look nice. So, and that's always the hard part. You have your cornerstones. You have Magic the Gathering, Warhammer, D&D, and then board games in general. Like, in there you can go all over the place, but like Magic and Warhammer in various forms are like our 2 biggest. It's like a group that comes in and runs it. It's more of like a family that we're good friends with, that they come in and sort of like take care of the machines. They run leagues. Is it every week? It always surprises me how many people we have come in for pinball league. So it's, we're there. They just finished up the league right now and they're in the middle of a break. So the league will be on a break until Labor Day, but we have, and it's been growing. Like, we used to just have a couple pinball machines when we were on the other side. When we remodeled, we added room for a lot more. Right before Wizards of the Coast made a lot of changes in how they do their organized play, so we wanted to make sure that we could have space for like Grand Prix trials and pre-releases and all these premiere events. And then they changed it to where those weren't quite as special as they used to be. And so they spread them out to more store. Like, every store can run those events now. So it made those events smaller, but we've been able to change and like now we do more miniature gaming events and we do more board gaming events. It's not just card games, where card games were the primary thrust of our game space. One of our employees, it's his collection. Most of them are original Magic the Gathering art. And he's got a few commissions that he's done with a handful of artists, and some that, like we've done and used for like play mats and other things, but it's all his collection. I mean, it's all games. It's just a different genre of stuff. So you have to have people on staff. Like, I personally know a lot more about the miniature side of things. That's sort of my specialty. We have Matt, and most of the other guys, they can handle the Magic a lot better than I can. I haven't played Magic in like 12 years, but they know all the ins and outs of that. I can handle the miniature gaming, and then we all sort of like chip in on, study the board games and stuff. So we've got another guy that's a little more role-playing focused. So we all have like our specialties, but we still know a little bit about everything. When we were really growing and for years, when I even came on, we made an effort not to be just a Magic store or just a role-playing store. We wanted to make sure that we, spread our focus and are able to do a number of things instead of just doing one. And I know that's a number of game stores will hyper focus on like just Magic, just miniatures, or just role playing, and I really try not to do that. We try to make sure that there's something for everybody. Magic's in a downturn. We have other things to sort of prop it up, and like we always say, like if Magic goes away tomorrow, which is a lot of stores' bread and butter, we could still get by. It wouldn't be fun, but we could do it. And even like right now, where Magic, there's some issues with how they've been releasing things, and it's a struggle for a lot of places. And it's tough, but we always have other things to fall back on, and that's one of the great things. We're now like prepping for a big release for Warhammer, and we're always looking to the future. Like D&D's got big releases coming out, and even within a genre like role playing games, we've seen like D&D sort of take a step down just slightly in popularity, but a lot of other games are coming up, and being able to make sure you've got all that stuff to sort of support the genre and that category of games is always a good thing. It's become a must for a lot of places. Like when we switched over, when we moved in this building, moved over to our new location, that was one of the things that we had to have, because you can't continue to, like with the rise of Commander and the popularity, you can't pull a list of 60 cards when you're just like looking through binders and boxes, seeing if you have it or not. You have to have it on hand. I wouldn't want to go back to the way we did it before. It's just too much work for what you make on a single Magic card. It's too much work and not making the right amount of money on it. The typical, like this morning, I get here, we run reports on our Magic sales online. So we pull cards for that to be shipped. We pull cards for in-store pickup orders, be helping customers throughout the day still while doing that stuff. And then like later, when we have more help coming in, then I'll take a step back off the floor a little bit. I've got to work up orders for next week we're sort of prepping that way we can facilitate doing that faster. And everybody sort of, like, no matter who you are, we sort of do everything. Like, even though that I'm here doing this right now, I'm running the floor, but then later I'll be working on orders. There's not just one person working on orders and one person, manning the registers. We all do a little bit of everything. We all, like clean the bathrooms. It's just something you do. Right now we've got full-timers and then another 4 part-timers that all work various schedules, but are for like, even like, I work full-time, but it's like full-time being anywhere from 40 to 60 hours a week, just sort of depending on the week and what's going on. Surprisingly, like when I first started, it was just like, oh, all the cool stuff, and you got to work with like the stuff about your hobby. But it's really, over the years, it's been community building, making friends throughout the games, and it's really that community building, and that's the glue that holds everything together. If you can't build a community, your store won't be open very long. And that's what we try to focus on, is like giving people a place to play, having it being a safe place no matter who you are, being super inclusive, and just having a fun atmosphere. And if you can't provide that, you need to look at what business you're in.